Hello students, good morning to everyone. Welcome back to my science class. Yes, today we are going to start a new chapter. We are going to have a look on the new chapter that is Earth, Sun and the Moon. So in this chapter, we mainly learn about the Earth and its layers that to mainly crust, mantle and the core. And in the same way, we learn about the moon, the surface of the moon, phases of the moon and the landing on the moon. Landing is here some of the persons that is first landing on the moon was done by Apollo 11, okay, which is a space satellite or space shuttle or a space flight. We learn about how who is the person who landed first on the moon, everything in this class, okay. Then let us move for the class without wasting our time. And see here your chapter number 7 and 8 are there, right? So we are going to skip those lessons because they are not included in your syllabus, as you are going to get the reduced syllabus. So chapter number 7, chapter number 8, that is natural disasters, changes in our environment are not included in your second semester. So this will be your last chapter, okay, Earth, Sun and the Moon. So your second semester includes almost 6 chapters, okay. So this will be your syllabus for the second semester except 7 and 8th chapters. So these two chapters will not be for your semester 2 exams, okay. Yes, then without wasting our time, let us move to our new chapter, that is new and last chapter of your syllabus, that is Earth, Sun and the Moon.
Hello my dear friends, today, let us play some riddles. The riddles are about our solar system. Shall we begin then? I'm the largest planet. Who am I?
Jupiter.
You are right. I am the planet with rings. Who am I?
Saturn.
You are absolutely correct. I am the blue planet. Who am I?
Earth.
Correct. I am the planet closest to the sun. Who am I?
Mercury.
You are right. And our last riddle for today is, I am the planet farthest from the sun. Who am I?
Neptune.
Excellent answers, children. So, our topic for today's session is Earth, Sun, and Moon. From Class 5 Science. The planets and the sun are known as celestial bodies. These celestial bodies form a part of the solar system. Let us learn more about the solar system. Solar system. The sun and the celestial bodies that revolve around it form the solar system. Apart from the planets, there are also comets, asteroids, satellites of various planets, and dwarf planets. A satellite is a celestial body that orbits a planet. All planets revolve around the sun in fixed path called orbits. In order of increasing distance from the sun, the 8 planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Pluto, which was earlier considered as planet, was placed in a separate category called dwarf planet by the International Astronomical Union, IAU, in August 2006. Look at the diagram given for the solar system. In reality, the planets are much more distant from each other. This diagram gives us a rough idea of how and where each planet is placed. Earth. The Earth is different from all other planets in the solar system. It has water, air, and soil. There is a blanket of air around the Earth, called the atmosphere, which protects it from the harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun. The surface of the Earth has various features such as oceans, rivers, mountains, and valleys. But, do you know what the inside of the Earth looks like? Let us see it. Internal structure of the Earth. According to scientists, the Earth is not a uniform solid sphere. It consists of different layers. These layers are called the crust, mantle, and core. The core is further divided into the outer and inner core. Crust. It is the outermost layer of the Earth. Its thickness varies from 5 kilometers under the ocean floor to 70 kilometers under the continents. It is made of rocks. Continents and oceans lie on this layer. It contains everything that is essential for life. Mantle. It is the middle layer or layer below the crust. It is about 2,900 kilometers thick. Its upper part is made up of solid rocks, whereas the lower part consists of molten rock. It is from here that molten magma comes out when a volcano erupts. It contains a lot of iron and magnesium. Core. It is the innermost layer forming the center of the Earth. The outer core is about 2,300 kilometers thick. The inner core is about 1,200 kilometers thick. The outer core contains iron and nickel in a molten state. Some sulfur is also present. It contains a lot of iron and magnesium. Sun. The Sun is the star that is closest to the Earth, about 1,500 million kilometers away. It is a huge ball of hot, burning gases. The Sun has a thin layer of atmosphere called the corona. It is this corona that we sometimes see. The spherical Sun has a diameter of about 13,92,000 kilometers. The Sun is so big that a million Earths could fit into it. But it is still considered small because stars are usually much larger. In fact, the Sun is called a dwarf star. The Sun is made up of mainly hydrogen and gas called helium. At the center of the Sun, hydrogen changes into helium. This process releases a large amount of heat and light energy, together called the solar energy. It is this light and heat that we receive on Earth. Solar energy is the most important source of energy for man. It is almost inexhaustible. Well, it might get over, but not for another several billion years, at least. Now, let us learn about Moon. The Moon is also spherical like the Sun and the planets. The Moon is made of rocks and has no air on it. The Moon is the natural satellite of the Earth. Its distance from the Earth is about 3,84,400 kilometers. The Moon does not have any light of its own. The moonlight we see is only reflected sunlight. The surface of the Moon. The surface of the Moon is dry and dusty and is covered with craters, mountains, and valleys. Craters are formed when solid bodies, called meteorites, crash into the Moon's surface. There's no air or water on the Moon. As such, no sound can be heard, since sound needs a medium to travel. The Moon also has gravity, with which it pulls all objects towards its center. Phases of the Moon. When the Moon revolves around the Earth, its shape appears to change day by day. The changing shapes of the Moon are called phases of the Moon. Landing on the Moon. It is a long way indeed to the Moon, but man has made that historical trip. The first men to land on the moon were the crew of the American space mission, Apollo 11. It was launched from Kennedy Space Center. The rocket that carried it into space was Saturn V. Apollo 11 carried 3 American astronauts: Neil Armstrong, Edwin Aldrin, and Michael Collins. Armstrong was the first to step out, and thus became the first man to set foot on the moon on July 20, 1969. He and Aldrin stayed for 2.5 hours on the moon and collected rock samples to bring back to the Earth. Fact: as the moon has no air or wind, the astronauts' footprints will remain there forever. After Apollo 11, many more missions have gone to the moon and elsewhere in space. Some have been manned, but many more unmanned spacecrafts have been sent to orbit the moon, land on it, and bring back the info. Artificial satellites. Artificial satellites are man-made objects that orbit the Earth. In order to launch satellites into space, we need to overcome the Earth's gravity. This is achieved by launching satellites with powerful rockets. There are different types of satellites, each designed for a specific purpose. Communication satellites send signals for TV and radio programs and telephone calls. Navigation satellites help ships and aircraft find their way. Astronomy satellites carry telescopes into space. And weather satellites help in weather forecasting. Ground stations on Earth send and receive signals to and from these satellites.
Yes, in next class we shall learn about the sun eclipses, solar eclipse as well as lunar eclipse. So this is all about your today's class. Thank you. Have a nice day.